She laughed and said, "You're just paranoid. They're my coworkers." I said, "Sure, just coworkers." Then I made plans that changed everything. She panicked when she found out what I'd been doing while she was distracted. I'm 29. I've been with Hannah for almost 4 years now. We met back when we lived in different cities, did the long-distance thing for a while, made it work, and eventually moved in together. For a long time, I thought she was it. She was sharp, confident, always knew what to say in a room. Being with her felt like being on the winning team. But lately, I don't know. It's like I've been slowly turning into background noise. It started about 8 months ago when she stepped into a new role at her company. Things changed fast. New friends, constant events, after-hours meetups. She was suddenly out 3 or 4 nights a week, happy hours, client parties, group dinners. And her phone? Always buzzing. Always a reason to laugh. Always someone texting. At first, I brushed it off. New role, new people, I told myself. She's just excited. But it didn't stop. And I couldn't help noticing how she'd talk about them, especially one guy, Mark. "He's hilarious," she said. "He just gets it." Sure. I finally brought it up one night. Nothing confrontational. Just a quiet, "Hey, you've been gone a lot. Maybe we could do dinner a couple nights this week? Just us." She didn't even pause. "You're being needy. I have a life outside this apartment, James." That one hit. Not because of what she said exactly, but how fast she said it. Like she'd already decided I wouldn't understand. Then came the moment that turned something off inside me. My cousin got married in Chicago. I asked Hannah to come with me, months in advance. She bailed last minute. "Work thing," she said. But while I was at the reception, scrolling Instagram, there it was, her story. Rooftop bar. Same city we live in. With Mark. And a few others. When I got back, I asked her about it. She didn't deny it. Just said, "It was spontaneous. You're really gonna guilt me over that." I didn't argue. I didn't say a word after that, actually. I just nodded. But that was the moment I knew, whatever this was, it wasn't love anymore. It was convenience. For her. That's when I quietly started checking out. After that night, I didn't bother trying to fix anything. I didn't bring up dinner again. Didn't ask where she was going. I just watched. And I waited. About a week later, I got an offer for a rollout in Denver. Better opportunity, more flexible hours, a fresh start. I accepted the offer the next morning. I didn't tell her. Not then. I began packing at night. A little here, a little there. Things she wouldn't notice. Books I hadn't touched in months. Winter coats. The stuff tucked in drawers. I started selling off old furniture online, transferring money into a separate account. Meanwhile, she was still wrapped up in whatever team-building thing her coworkers had going on. At one point, she spent 3 days planning a weekend retreat for them. Turns out it was a cabin trip. She never asked if I wanted to come. She brought back a ceramic mug that said, "Work hard, play harder." Said it was an inside joke from the trip. I just smiled. By the time she returned, I'd cleared out half the apartment. I left the things that wouldn't raise flags, stuff on the walls, her stuff untouched. But boxes were stacked in the corner of the hallway, and a few kitchen shelves were empty. She walked in, looked around, and blinked. "Are we redecorating?" "No," I said. "I'm moving to Denver." She stared at me like she couldn't quite process it. "Wait, what do you mean, you're moving?" "I took a job out there. I start next week." The silence that followed felt longer than it was. Her voice came back sharp. "You can't just leave like that." I nodded. "I tried to talk to you, remember? Months ago. About us. About how distant everything felt." She started pacing. "So that's it. You just made this decision without even talking to me." "I did talk. You just weren't listening." She started spiraling. Questions, accusations, disbelief. "Is this about Mark? Because if it is, you're being ridiculous." I didn't even respond to that. I just said, "It's not about anyone. It's about how I feel when I come home and realize I don't live with someone. I live around them." She stood there for a second like the words hadn't landed yet. Then the pushback started. "You're throwing away 4 years because I have friends?" I looked at her. "No, I'm leaving because I don't recognize what we are anymore. I feel like a ghost in my own relationship. You have a life, Hannah, but I'm not in it." That hit her harder than anything else I'd said. She stopped pacing and went quiet. Then came the tears. Then the anger. She tried to flip it, said I was emotionally closed off, jealous, insecure, that I'd built this up in my head. I didn't argue. I just let her talk. Because the truth was, I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. She went from blaming to bargaining. Promised she'd cut back on nights out. Said she didn't realize how bad it had gotten. That she could change. But I didn't want change anymore. I wanted peace. "I'm not asking for anything," I said. "I just need to leave with some self-respect left." I gave her 30 days to take over the lease. I paid off the remaining bills. Left a detailed list with account info. I kept it clean and calm, not because I wanted to be the bigger person, but because I didn't want anything from her, not even closure. The day I hit the state line into Colorado, I blocked her number. 2 months later, Denver already feels like home. My place has this quiet little view of the mountains, and on Saturdays, I hike until I forget what day it is. The team at work has been surprisingly welcoming, and one of them, Tara, showed me this little jazz spot that's become my go-to. No expectations. Just music and air that feels light again. Last week, I checked my email and saw her name. Subject line, I miss us. I didn't open it. Just hovered for a second, then hit spam. Not out of spite. Just because I didn't need to hear it. Not anymore. Some people don't leave you. They were never with you to begin with.